Okay, so you want to understand Budo Taijutsu, right?
Right.
And wow, these sources you found, they're amazing. We're going to really travel back in time
Yeah.
today, exploring its history and,
Yeah.
how it all ties back to the samurai. Budo Taijutsu itself, the name, it literally
So
means,
it's a fascinating one, isn't it?
yeah, it's like the art of the body of the way of war.
Right.
So it's not about scoring points. It's about
No, not
practical combat, real.
Exactly, yeah. It's about surviving. It's about that real-world application of combat skills.
Yeah, and what really stood out to me was just how old this stuff is.
Yeah.
We're talking way before judo or karate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Those are modern terms, right?
Very modern. Think about it. Judo, karate-do, they all came about in the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Right.
Taijutsu, though, that takes us way back to the pre-Meiji era,
Mhm.
before 1868.
Okay, so real samurai times.
This is when samurai warfare was, a daily reality,
Yeah.
not just something in a movie.
Not just history books, yeah.
Exactly. It was a way of life.
And when I was reading through these sources, it was so cool how they mentioned these 9 schools.
Oh, yeah.
Almost like they're portals to that time.
Right.
Each one specializing in a different part of combat, right?
Precisely. You have to remember that these schools were all part of a bigger system, like a complete, warrior education.
Yeah.
And it was known as Bugei Ryuha Daijiten.
Mhm.
It literally translates to 18 warrior arts.
18. Wow. Okay, so it's not just about hand-to-hand combat.
No. A samurai had to master, swordsmanship, archery, riding horses, and even battlefield strategy, the whole thing.
So like a true warrior scholar.
Exactly, a well-rounded warrior.
Could you give us a specific example how one of these schools developed techniques, for that kind of battlefield?
Okay, sure. Let's take Yokoryu. Now, this school, it was famous for its focus on leverage and joint manipulation, especially effective when you're facing an opponent in Yoroi.
Okay, so traditional samurai armor.
Exactly. Big, heavy armor. Now imagine you try to punch or kick someone like that. It wouldn't do much, would it?
I mean, it seems like it hurt you more than them.
Right. So Yokoryu, they came up with techniques to go around the armor.
Oh, I see.
Use throws, locks, hit pressure points, things that'll take someone down even if they're wearing all that metal.
That's so clever. So it's even though the times have changed, those ideas still work.
Absolutely. The core principles, they're timeless.
That's pretty awesome.
For example, take the idea of kuzushi. It means unbalancing.
Oh, good.
In Gyokuryu, you learn how to make your opponent lose their balance, right? Then they're open to attack.
Makes sense.
Now, you might not run into a samurai in armor these days, but knowing how to disrupt someone's balance,
Right, that's still useful.
that's super important for self-defense no matter what.
Exactly. So we have these 9 schools, each one with its own specialty. But how did they survive so long?
Well, that's where the Bujinkan system comes in. It's pretty recent, actually, late 20th century. But what it did, it brought all 9 schools together, preserved those techniques.
So it's like a living library.
Exactly,
Yeah.
a living link to those ancient combat traditions.
That's incredible. And it makes you wonder, right? What else from that time could we still use today? It can't just be about fighting.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Budo Taijutsu, it's also about, mental and spiritual discipline.
Oh, interesting.
Think about it. The samurai, they face death all the time, right? So they had to be unbelievably focused
Yeah, I can see that.
and aware. Now, we might not be fighting for our lives every day,
Right.
but those skills, that mental strength, it's still valuable, like dealing with stress or just, navigating a crazy city.
Yeah, totally. So to kind of sum up, Budo Taijutsu, it's not just martial arts. It's a whole snapshot of samurai culture, right?
Absolutely.
We can learn about their combat, their strategy, even how they develop themselves as people. It's a proof that looking back at the past can teach us a lot.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The wisdom of the past can really, help us in the present.
And that's what makes this whole deep dive so fascinating. Thanks for taking us on this journey.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
It's been amazing. Until next time.
Definitely looking forward to it.
All right, see ya.
See you later.